Good evening and welcome to the Thursday, May 15th, 2025 Scarborough Board of Education Business Meeting. Ray, can we call the attendance, please?
Yes, Mr. Kelleher.
Here.
Leon.
Here.
Ms. Lindstrom.
Here.
Ms. Peterson.
She is absent.
Mr. Rockenstar.
Here.
Mr. Arpinian.
Here.
Ms. Trapani Hop.
Here.
Ms. Ledger.
Here.
And Ms. Messina.
Here. Perfect. Thank you so much. Would everyone please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Allegiance to the United States indivisible, with liberty and Perfect. Thank you so much. Agenda item 4.0 is approval of the May 1st, 2025 business meeting minutes. So with no objection, we will approve those. All right, agenda item 5.0 is our adjustments to the agenda. I do have one that I'd like to move up. 10.3 is the mix and mingle waiver request. I would like to move that up under the retiree, the recognition. So that would become a new 8.0 and the track would be a 9.0. Is there any objections to that? All right, hearing none, we'll make that adjustment. Any other adjustments?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Agenda item 6.0 or spotlight award recognition. 6.1 is a staff recognition. So I'll turn this over to Jillian.
All right. We are so excited to announce the May Spotlight Award. And that person is here tonight. Go ahead and it's Courtney Thomason. Courtney is a teacher for the deaf and hard of hearing for the entire district, K through 12. She travels around to all 6 schools, and she has been a dedicated member of the staff since the 2010-2011 school year. And she was nominated in the categories of leadership, exceptional work, and random acts of kindness. The person that nominated her is, Tracy Frederick. Okay. All right. And so we have a couple of quotes and a video, but Tracy, you can come on up any. Okay, perfect. All right. So first we had somebody write in, Sophia Stratton from Blue Point wrote, my colleagues and I would like to nominate Courtney for the Teacher Spotlight Award. She consistently goes above and beyond in her role as a teacher of the deaf, offering support in both students and staff alike. She's always ready to help, whether it's arranging interpreters, assisting with classroom communication, or engaging with students in a meaningful way. And then we have the video.
Hi, my name is Tracy Frederick, and I work here at Blue Point Elementary School. 3 of us are here thinking about a really incredible person for the Spotlight Teacher Award. And that person that we are nominating is Courtney Thomason. I met Courtney in the fall of 2024. When I joined Scarborough Schools here at Blue Point, working with a deaf student. And wow, Courtney has been incredibly supportive of me. If I need anything, she is my go-to person. She's my A-team. Anything that I need, like toys for the classroom, computer technology support, she's my go-to. If I was sick or absent and was not able to come to school, Courtney always showed up for us and for all of our students in our classroom. So it is my absolute honor to nominate Courtney.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Christy LaCicero Mackey, and my name sign is Christy. I met Courtney some time ago when we both worked at the Maine Educational Center for Deaf and Hard of Hearing Children. And back then, and still today, Courtney is phenomenal. She is champ, as we like to say in the deaf world. She always is supportive. Her energy, very positive, involved with all of the students, doesn't matter if they're deaf, hard of hearing, and supporting the hearing children and the staff throughout Scarborough. She's always there. Very easy to just give her a call. And Courtney has many, many skills. So that's why we would like to nominate her for the Spotlight Award this year. We would like to celebrate all the work that she is doing in the field of education in the deaf community at large. And now we have, hi there. I'm Sophia Stratton. And I'm one of the interpreters here at Blue Point School. I just recently joined Blue Point in the fall, and I saw this woman signing with Christy and with Tracy, and I met her and I went, "Oh, it's nice to meet you. It's a teacher of the deaf that signs fluently. That's beautiful." And she says, "What is your last name?" And I told her my last name was Stratton, and then she was like, "Oh, I met you a long time ago." Maybe over 20 years ago, because Courtney was working with my brother who is deaf. And Courtney really is just phenomenal in the way that she supports the deaf community at large. And just to echo exactly what Christy said, in our classroom for all of the students. And interesting, when Courtney walks into the room, it's all of the kids that get excited and want to play with her. She's great. She's a phenomenal teacher of the deaf, and it's an honor to nominate Courtney for this award. Oh, I wanted to add too, she goes above and beyond. Getting interpreters for me, if I need to have access, needed to get an outside interpreter, if Tracy or Sophia are not able to do it, she contacts. I mean, her list of duties, she keeps going and going. It's just fabulous. Okay, it's enough said, I guess. We all just really, really, really care for Courtney and her work for all the hard of hearing students in Scarborough, and supports them all with the technology and everything,
Teachers as
with
well.
and the teachers, everyone. Thanks. We could go on and on.
Tracy, do you want to come on up? All right. Oh, do you want to go right to the mic?
I typically don't have any problem if I'm interpreting, but standing up here is like, ooh. I just wanted to share this evening that Christy couldn't be here, and Christy is our special ed teacher of the deaf teacher in room 13 at Blue Point. And she just wanted me to share with y'all that she wished that she could be here. And just again, how much we appreciate Courtney and the support that she has for our students at Blue Point, as well as all over Scarborough schools, providing access. When we think about access and what it looks like, it's really amazing. So thank you, Courtney.
Courtney, will you come on up? Oh.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. So, check. Right, Kate, you know.
Courtney, did you want an opportunity to say anything?
It was kind of fitting tonight because when I left here, when we went out to dinner before we came, and when we left, I bumped into a parent that I had her student as a kindergartner, and now he's a junior. He's finishing up his junior year at RIT, and he was a bilateral implant kid, and so it was just random that we bumped into each other, and she was saying how great he was doing. You know, he's had some bumps in the road, but he's doing great, and he's learning sign language. And I was like, oh, that's wonderful. And so that was just interesting that we bumped into her tonight. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. When I got hired here 15 years ago, I was hired for one student, and Allison Marchese, she's obviously not here tonight because she's retired, living the good life in Florida, but she gave me that opportunity to spread my wings. And I actually, said, there's other kids in this district that really could use, some help. And, she kind of like let me just kind of take on. She didn't really know what this role would turn into because I was just for this one student. And that student was growing his wings and he didn't really need me as much anymore. And then yeah, and then this role now just kind of like morphed into like a K-12, and now I, help with IT and the technology, and it's so great to walk into the schools and everyone's wearing, a lot of them are wearing the touchscreen mics, and thanks to Diane and IT and stuff for, making this also a great thing to happen, and access. It's all about access, right? So no, but thank you, Tracy. You and Cheryl and Ann Binder, like the three of us are, we're really, we obviously deal with it all, but it's been a great opportunity to work in Scarborough. Really fortunate. So yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Congratulations, Courtney. Very obviously a well-deserved award. Is there anybody else who would like to say something?
My goal is not to cry, which is going to be hard. I only cry when I'm happy, which only happens here, which is ironic. Thank you. When I have a deaf student, as my daughter is deaf, and when she arrived, when we arrived at Scarborough, and she arrived in Scarborough as entering the schools, I looked at the special ed director and said, "You can't meet my daughter's needs, period." And yes, I can be combative at times, you may have recall. And I have to say, Courtney, you have managed to support my daughter, and I didn't think that was possible. And the team that you have built and the support that you've wrapped around her from that first meeting that we've had through today has allowed her to be successful in an environment that is not designed for kids like her. She's deaf plus, so there's other needs that she has, but the amount of care and concern you show her, the amount of effort and time that you go, the extent that you will go to make sure that she gets her needs met, that she has access in that classroom. And I know that I remember when they said there's one teacher of the deaf, and I was like, well, that's not going to be enough. And so, you really have, I've watched you work the Rise That Challenge and recognize where there are gaps and then work tirelessly to make sure those gaps are filled. I don't believe I could have had a better experience, and I really attribute that to your effort. So thank you. From like the bottom of my heart, thank you.
I have one more El Rayo napkin left. I'll pass it to you.
We can probably find a tissue box.
All right, is there anybody else who? Please. Congratulations and thank you so very much for all you do. All right, agenda item 6.2 is student recognition. So we'll turn this over to Grace and Abby.
Okay, so for May, we actually have two Student Spotlight Award winners, and our first one is Maria Bennett. Maria was nominated by her teacher, Mr. Cabana. I don't think he's here tonight, but I do have, oh, he is. Oh my gosh, sorry. You are here. Okay. If you'd like to come up and say something about Maria. Yeah. I do, yeah. Yeah, sure. Okay. So Mr. Cabana said, "It took me a mere seconds upon reading about the student spotlight to know that I just had to nominate Maria Bennett, a seventh grader at SMS. I've worked with Maria for 2 years in my news club and now yearbook club this year as well. To say Maria goes above and beyond is an understatement. Maria routinely takes a leading role in SMS news, whether it be planning, hosting, capturing videos, interviewing students, or editing video projects. I know I can always count on Maria to step up and help put together a great episode of our school news. In yearbook club, she doesn't hesitate to take pictures and interview students of all grades and share her creative ideas. In addition to her exceptional contributions to two SMS clubs, Maria shines as a student who always stands up for what is right. Maria is an amazing advocate for both herself and her fellow students. She makes all those around her feel welcome and included. Above all, Maria brings energy and positivity each day to the whole SMS community."
All right, so I just want to additionally share a couple anecdotes that I think really just sum up Maria and how we've worked together the past couple years. First, I saw Abby's email, was very excited, and it wasn't until later that I realized I was BCC'd and that I suppose it was intended to be a surprise on who would nominate. Regardless of what transpired, I don't really think it would have been a surprise given the amount of time we spent together. But regardless, as I was reading the email, who else at 7:42 would be standing behind me in my classroom at the ready, seeing if anything needed to be done, but Maria. So I said, "Oh, hey, this is great." Oh, but I mean, so as always, first thing in the morning, a smile to welcome me, anyone else in the room, and always asking what she can do to help. I don't know if I was supposed to create a video like the wonderful one done for Courtney, but even if I was, the person to help me with that would have been Maria. So I suppose maybe I can be forgiven for not creating a video. So just those two things, just, a shining light on everybody's day at the middle school. And so very well deserved for the Spotlight Award this month. Congrats, Maria.
Maria, did you want to come up and say a few things? Yeah. Of course you do.
I just want to say, of course, thank you so much to Mr. Cabana. Like, this literally means the world to me. And I just he always is there to add a smile to my day. No, it just makes me really happy to see him. And it just really warms my heart that he thinks of me in that way. And it just always makes my whole day to see him and when we work together. It always makes me just so happy. And I just love spending time with Mr. Cabana. So just thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Congratulations, Maria. This is quite the night. Oh, my goodness. I've run out of El Rayo napkins, but I think there's some in the back. Oh. I need to. All right, Grace, we'll turn it back over to you and Abby for the second one.
Okay, so our second person is Easton. Easton Beer. So we could follow the same pattern. Mr. Reagan nominated him. I could, if that's okay, Mr. Reagan, I could read what you said, or do you want to just say it? Okay. Easton is an exceptional young man. A couple words that describe him are energetic, honest, and helpful. Easton's name comes up often because he is someone who really cares about people and helping others. For example, he has helped Officer Greenleaf present and make cards for veterans. He's the type of student who really enjoys being helpful. Another example is K-Kids. The K-Kids Club at school, Easton is a leader in that club. He has helped organize and spearhead food and clothing drives. Even if he was absent, he made sure the work was prepared and ready. He made sure students had jobs and knew what their tasks were. Another example is he helped serve several teachers organize their library shelves on his own time. He just enjoys helping and being kind. He's the kind of student who looks out for others, who needs a friend. His name comes up again and again as a shining example of service and kindness.
Okay, I mean, I could go on and on. The guy keeps doing great things. Every day, even today, he made a bulletin board for the Special Olympics to honor those kids who are going to do that this Friday. And I don't want to keep you because he's helping out tomorrow as one of the buddies. So he just does a lot of things. Again, energy, enthusiasm, just super, super helpful. I always think at the beginning of the year, somebody's coming down the aisle with Cheerios and they go flying everywhere. And I'm like, oh gosh. And he goes, I got this. Grabs a broom, cleans everything up, and he just takes care of a lot of little things. And he just makes things go a lot smoother. Just leave you with one quote, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. So I want to thank you for that and appreciate it.
Easton, do you want to come get your award now?
Mom, come on up. Easton, did you want to come up and say anything? No. Totally understandable and acceptable. Is there any comments from the board?
Yeah, go ahead. So I think we spend a lot of time celebrating our staff, which they're incredibly hardworking, and we always celebrate our students as a whole. And I think it's really incredible that we're able to identify a couple of students today, Maria and Easton, and recognize your good work and just show like our whole community is supported when we have people who are helpful and kind and really working together. And that's what makes Scarborough such a special space. And it's so wonderful to hear all the things that you add to our district and make it what it is. So thank you to both of you.
And I will just add on and say, in the line of work that I do, I do a lot of leadership development training, and one of the things we talk about a lot about are values and personal values and what means a lot to you. And one of those values that means a lot to me is being of service. And so I really, really appreciate what I hear from the two of you. And this is such an amazing opportunity because we have two students who are of service to us for 2 years and their last 2 years of high school, and now they get to honor other kids that are of service. And so it's this full circle moment for us up here on the board. And I just really encourage you to continue honoring that and continue staying focused on being of service. And know that your heart is in the right place and that you're doing all you can to make lives better, everyone's life around you better. And that's really, really impactful and really meaningful. And I hope you both hang on to that and continue. And specifically, Maria, we had your brother for 2 years, so we're looking forward to potentially another Bennett up here with us in the future. No pressure, but if you're interested. Thank you both so much and congratulations again. All right, and to continue the feel goods, we're going to continue with recognitions. 7.1 is our retirees.
So we're really excited this evening to be able to honor this year's class of 2025, our retirees. We're going to put up a slide here in a minute that lists everyone and their years of service to Scarborough Public Schools. And so when you take a look at this list, these folks represent 304 years of service to our community. So let's just start off with that. That's amazing. Each of our leaders has prepared something short to share with all of you to recognize folks. And so I think, does it make sense that we go in order? Would that be logical? Let's do it. Ann Lovejoy, you want to come up first?
Oh.
She's going to speak about her person.
No.
All right, so get ready because I've got a few people to talk about here. The first teacher I'm going to talk about couldn't be here tonight, so we'll talk about her first. Nancy Golichuk, she has the most years of service on the list today. She's been a first and second grade teacher for 27 years here. It's been phenomenal for her. She's just been such a leader. She's a quiet sort of person, and she just is a very quiet leader and does the right thing for everybody and treats kids so respectfully. And I've just been so grateful to have her in my building that whole time. And I know that in retirement, she's going to spend time with her new grandson and up in Pimlico, where she has family, and just be traveling to Sweden and Switzerland and Paris this summer, like the day after school gets out. So no rest for the weary. So we're very happy for Nancy. The next person I want to talk about is a person who started in my building, but then went over to Pleasant Hill and then came back to the fold, Julia Peters. Julia Peters walked into our building one day, and she is the most vibrant, energetic, positive ray of sunshine, and she has the most beautiful little girls with her. And she's like, I could be I'm a teacher. I have a degree. We're like, yes, come teach for us. She's like, not yet. But then she came on board as an ed tech, and she has been in the academic support world for 17 years. And we are so grateful that she has been in the district. She's been such a service to everybody, both at Eight Corners and at Pleasant Hill. And she doesn't look a day older. I mean, I look at her and I'm like, how do you do that, Julia? And she just is full of life and love and laughter. And I'm just so happy that she's come back for a year so we can share this joy with her. So thank you, Julia. And last but not least, Amy Daniels. Oh my God, I can't believe it. The first year I was principal, we had a new student coming in who had a lot of challenges, and somebody who was working in the office did not have the capacity to want to work with that student. And Amy came along, and she'd been subbing in the building a little bit. Her kids were finally in school, all three of them who went through Scarborough schools. And I was so fortunate that she stepped in and never left. The little retirement speech template that we're given says, what positions has she held here? And a few of the positions, even though on paper it says building ed tech, she is the director of school operations. She's the school Swiss Army knife, the chief of everything officer, the educational MacGyver, and the director of getting things done. And I don't know how the office was going to run without her. She is the first person in the building and is already got 15 problems solved before most of us even arrive. So she's just remarkable, and she will never toot her own horn, but I couldn't have done it without you. My sister of 63. So I'm so happy for you, and I know you're going to have lots of fun travels with Bob, and Sarah will drag herself along too. So, and it's just going to be great. So thank you, Amy.
All right, we're going to move on to Wentworth School. Kelly Crosby, could you come up?
This is just quite an evening. So I have 3 teachers that I'm going to speak about this evening from Wentworth School, and unfortunately, they all shared the same conflicting commitment. So none of them are able to be here, but I said I will still say very nice things about you, and you can watch it later on YouTube. So the first person that I'm going to talk about is Mrs. Catherine Hewitt, and she has been in the Scarborough Public Schools for 17 years. And prior to coming to Wentworth, she did, I think, everything. I mean, she taught everyone from little kids to adult learners across every discipline, across every content area. And at Wentworth, she was a multi-age teacher, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade for many years, and most recently has been a blended teacher of 3rd and 4th graders. She's brought this like very rare blend of creativity, knowledge, and steady leadership that has really shaped our school community in so many lasting ways. She has an incredible background in both fine arts and in landscape design. And so she infused that not only with her teaching and in hands-on learning, but she really is the champion of our incredible school garden. That is perhaps her most visible and enduring legacy, a project that began as a vision and a blank slate, a brand new school that just had a chain linked fence around a patch of grass, and it is now this incredible, vibrant outdoor classroom, really thanks to her. With her guidance, kids have learned how to be stewards of our planet and how to observe nature and solve problems and work together, and I could go on and on and on, but I promised I would stick to the script. So colleagues describe her as passionate and thoughtful and generous with both her time and her talents. She has a really quiet humor, and she's super creative and willing to support anyone with humility and grace, and she's calm and curious and committed to students and staff. In retirement, she is just going to continue to cultivate beauty, but even though I've really tried to convince her to come back and like still work in the garden, she's going to take a break from that and do her own thing in whatever garden she plants next. So I'm so excited for Catherine. And then you really can't talk about Catherine without talking about Janine Chin, and that's the next person that I'm going to speak about. They are going as, I kind of call them like a left and right Twix. They're together, they've been team teaching forever and ever, and they're a little two-pack for sure. So Janine has been with us for 18 years. They pretty much came in together. They have a similar background and a lot of the same passions. And they both are currently teaching 3rd and 4th grade blended classrooms. So Janine has brought great energy and creativity and a forward-thinking spirit to our school community. She has a total of 35 years in education, which is remarkable. So she's touched countless lives through her innovative and student-centered approach. She's known for her interdisciplinary teaching style. For sure, she can really makes it seem effortless how she weaves content areas together and makes it all very seamless. She has very engaging environments in her classroom that really focus on academic and personal growth. I love seeing Miss Chin like teaching kids how to do like Tai Chi and all of these really like mindful body movements. She has been committed since COVID to every single day, rain, shine, no matter the temperature. It could be 15 below zero, outdoor snack with her students every day. She started it in COVID and then has kept the tradition going. And it's something that she kind of takes a lot of pride in. So she's very committed to nature and has approached each day with thoughtfulness and passion, always seeking new ways to grow. And her retirement plans include enjoying a well-earned rest and staying connection to her passions and embracing new adventures. So congratulations to Janine. And then third from Wentworth is Mrs. Michelle Prisbilowitz. She also has given 18 years of service to the Scarborough Public Schools, all at Wentworth. Prior to that, she's had 32 total years in education. She was a 1st grade teacher and a reading specialist outside of Scarborough, but she has been a reading support interventionist at Wentworth School for all of these years. And she really leaves a legacy of compassion and expertise and a deep commitment to student growth. She supports readers in building their literacy skills, and she brings her whole entire heart to the work. She's very skillful, and she has a quiet determination in everything that she does. She is calm and very encouraging, and she's helped countless students overcome challenges and discover the joy of reading, which is just such a lifelong gift. With a gentle approach and unwavering belief in their potential, she turned moments of struggle into lasting success. Her work has not only strengthened academic foundations, but built confidence and a lifelong love of learning. Colleagues describe her as kind and positive and quietly powerful. She's a steady force, and she is known for her fast pace. She cruises down the hallway, and her cheerful spirit and her deep care for others. She's really helped shape the culture of our school, and her influence will continue to grow in the students that she's supported and in the colleagues that she has uplifted. She has a lot of grandbabies coming, like brand new grandbabies and more coming. So that is her retirement plan. She's going to just be a Mimi and embrace new adventures and lean into that wonderful and flexible family time. So congratulations to Michelle. And there is a 4th retiree from Wentworth, but Nicole Benham is going to speak about her.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Kelly. We're going to move on to the middle school next. I'll call Kathy Turrell up.
Good evening. I have 2 staff members from the middle school that I'm going to speak about, and then another that Nicole Benham will be speaking about. Tina Perrin couldn't make it this evening, but she started her career at Scarborough Middle School in 2003. Previously, she taught at the Village School and Shaw Junior High School in Gorham, Maine. At SMS, Tina started as a multi-age 6th through 8th grade teacher for 13 years. Then when the middle school was reconfigured, she took on an 8th grade ELA class, and this year she's actually been teaching some social studies also, but she's taught every grade and every content level at the middle school. So throughout her tenure, Tina has been guided by her belief that other than the first 3 years of a person's life, the years they attended middle school bring about the most physical, social, and emotional changes that they will experience. I think she's right on. It's important to have not just a teacher during that time, but someone who will nurture and care for them through their experience. And one of my daughters had the fortunate experience of being nurtured by Tina. Tina has unquestionably had such an impact. One of her colleagues shares that when you enter Mrs. Perrin's room on the first day of school, you immediately become one of her kids. Not only do you get a year of nurturing love and learning, but you are given skills and knowledge that go far beyond the classroom. Every student knows that they have a teacher for life that will always be there for them no matter what they need or how long it has been since you walked through the door. Outside of school, Tina is an avid reader and enjoys spending time at her camp at Denmark, Maine on Long Pond. In her retirement, she will certainly enjoy these pastimes as well as spend time with her wonderful children, grandchildren, and husband. So thank you, Tina, for all you've done for SMS, and enjoy your retirement. And then Shelley Tajura. She began teaching her career at Scarborough Middle School in 2000. Prior to working at SMS, Shelley worked as a mental health and adolescence counselor in Bath and Brunswick and for Sweetser. She then completed the ETEP program at USM to begin a second career in teaching. At SMS, Shelley prides herself on having taught all different grades and all different subjects. Reflecting on what has stood out for her, she shares her love for teaching science and any project-based learning, Egypt Night, and Community School and Self, CSS. I think a lot of people remember our CSS. Other staff who also taught CSS will recall how Shelley was on it during CSS and how she always made sure her students could shine. In addition, Shelley's colleagues share that Shelley's dedication to her craft and her students is truly inspiring. No matter the day of the week or time of day, Shelley was on top of her game and always supportive of anyone in need. For nearly 25 years, she has combined knowledge, creativity, and fun in her lessons and teaching here at SMS. Her dedication and commitment to the entire Scarborough community is something that her colleagues, students, and their families will always remember. Outside of school, Shelley enjoys perennial gardening, bird watching, hiking, being with her family, and traveling. In her retirement, Shelley will continue to pursue these pastimes and also do volunteer work with hospitalized children. Thank you, Shelley, for all that you've done for SMS, and congratulations.
Excellent. Moving on, we're going to call Nicole Benham up. She's our Assistant Special Services Director to speak about some of our special services staff that we're honoring this evening.
Hi, I'm going to start with Claire Ledoux. She is the gifted and talented teacher at Wentworth. She has been with Scarborough for 6 years. However, she has had a GT endorsement since 2005 and was in elementary education since 1987, so long history. She has made a lasting impact on the Gates program during her time in Scarborough. When hired, Claire brought with her years of experience, deep passion, and a strong foundation in education. Claire has a remarkable understanding of the unique social, emotional, and academic needs of gifted students. She encourages both critical and creative thinking, and her enthusiasm for learning is contagious. She's always a strong advocate for the needs of the students she works with. In addition to her work at Wentworth, Claire has also successfully carried out the role of providing consultation to our 3 K-2 schools for our youngest learners who would benefit from additional enrichment within their academic day. As an active member of MEGAT, she's earned the respect of educators across Southern Maine for her thoughtful advocacy and insight. And I can say that Claire is a name in our household regularly, as my husband is a gifted and talented teacher. And I regularly hear, well, what would Claire do? So she's made an impact across the state. With a move up the coast and bittersweet task of packing up the home where she raised her 4 daughters, she's stepping into a new and exciting chapter. She's a lifelong learner, and we know that her passion won't stop in retirement, whether through practicing her second language of French or sharing her wisdom with her first grandchild arriving soon. Claire's love for teaching will live on. So thank you, Claire. I know she's not there. The next person that I would like to honor is Erica Jurgensen. She has been with us for 24 years. Erica is an ed tech in our functional life skills program at the high school. So I reached out to colleagues and they have so much to say and I only have so much time. But she is very well loved at the high school. She has been a consistent supporter of our extended school year summer program. And in the 24 years she's been with us, she's been an integral part of this close-knit team working with some of our highest needs students. She's an incredibly kind and dedicated educator who is always eager to learn new approaches to help her students communicate their basic needs and express their thoughts. Erica is constantly thinking about her students, offering thoughtful feedback on what works well, and she's always ready to brainstorm new strategies when something doesn't quite fit a student's learning style. One of Erica's greatest strengths is her strong advocacy for inclusion. She has a unique ability to connect content to student interests, making learning feel relevant and engaging for each individual. She is patient, creative, and genuinely cares for her students and has made a significant impact on their lives. She's been a wonderful advocate for every learner. In retirement, Erica and her husband, John, are planning to eventually move to Ohio, which is where her 2 youngest daughters live, so they can be closer to their young grandchildren. So, the next person is, Lori Monteith is another ed tech who is in our functional life skills program at the high school. And I can say that program is going to be missing 2 incredible people next year. She's been with us for 18 years and she was also in the role of a medical assistant. She's been instrumental in providing education to our most medically fragile students. She begins every day with a smile, but more importantly, she makes sure that our students feel supported, valued, and genuinely cared for. Lori has developed wonderful and caring relationships with the students she works with. These relationships are built on trust, compassion, and consistency. Her presence brings comfort and reassurance to those who need it most, and the impact she's had on our students is immeasurable. Lori has had a particularly significant impact on the life of one student, and she's worked with for many years. When this student has been unable to attend school in person due to his medical needs, Lori has been a constant source of connection to his school community. Lori's compassion and quiet strength has made a lasting difference in our school community, and we are so grateful for all that she has given. During retirement, Lori will be spending time with her kids and grandkids, and she is considering coming back to sub with us occasionally, and to just continue her great work with the Functional Life Skills program and maintain that connection to her students. So thank you, Lori. I've already tried to get her to join for summer. Next is Julie Noble. Julie has been with Scarborough for 10 years. She began her career as an ed tech at Wentworth, bringing her expertise where she had once been a classroom teacher. In 2019, Julie became a special education administrative assistant. Her coworkers describe her as one of the most caring, kind, and hardworking people they have ever had the pleasure of working with. Julie has a sharp eye for catching paperwork errors, saving the special education teams from headaches down the line, and she handles every challenge with patience and grace. Julie is the kind of person you could count on no matter what, whether it was sending things out efficiently or performing scheduling magic. Julie always found a way to make things run smoother. Honestly, we really have no idea how we're going to manage without you and how we managed before. As she steps into retirement, Julie has some wonderful plans ahead. She's looking forward to spending more time with her granddaughter, Remy. She and her husband, Bob, love their weekend breakfast dates in Cornish, and something tells me that those will become weekday breakfast dates. And of course, her furry family friends, Calvin the cat and Oliver the dog, will be thrilled to have her home more often. Thank you, Julie. Two more. Tobin Haglin is our ESL teacher at the middle school. She has been with Scarborough for 9 years. And Tobin is a dedicated educator whose care for students and their families has made a lasting impact on our school community. Throughout her time with us, Tobin has been a strong and consistent advocate for her students. She's gone above and beyond, not only in her direct support for students, but also in educating staff about how best to support ESOL students, both academically and culturally. Her efforts have helped shape a more inclusive and responsive environment for all. One of the most memorable parts of Tobin's contribution has been her organization of a week-long summer camp experience for students over several summers. For many, it was their first time exploring the natural beauty of Maine and really helped to foster a sense of connection with their new home. Students are drawn to Tobin's natural teaching style and her ability to build trust and rapport quickly. She creates spaces where students feel safe, valued, and encouraged, and that's really no small gift. In retirement, Tobin will continue her teaching journey abroad next school year, bringing her talents to Thailand. Bring us with you, Tobin. We'll certainly miss her here, but we know that her future students are incredibly lucky to have her. Thank you, Tobin. And finally, celebrating Ray LeCompte. He is currently an ed tech at the middle school. He has been with Scarborough for 3 years, and his journey into education took a unique and inspiring path. He came to us from the business world, having earned an associate's degree in business from the University of Maine system. When he first stepped into the middle school, he admitted to being a little overwhelmed by the sensory experience, and who can blame him? But Ray quickly found his place. He discovered a real knack for connecting with some of our brightest students who needed a little extra social emotional learning support in the general education setting. Watching those relationships develop has been truly special. His calm presence, quiet dedication, and steady support have left a long-lasting impact. In retirement plans, he enjoys golfing, being outdoors, and traveling, and now he's going to have a little more time to do that. So thank you, Ray. I don't think he's here. I don't have to see my thanks.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Next up, I will call Kate Bolton, who's going to speak about a couple of folks from our custodial department.
I'm having a multimedia moment here because I'm kind of channeling Todd Jepson a little bit. And he couldn't be here this evening, but wanted me to share some thoughts about two of our retired custodians who I happen to know very well and just love both of them so much. I'll start with Mark Dowdy, who was here the longest. He was in Scarborough for 23 years. And Mark retired in September. He's not here with us this evening. And we miss him, but we did want to honor him this evening. Mark came to Scarborough because he wanted a part-time job to go along with his full-time job as a head custodian in Cape Elizabeth, because he didn't want to have all that, laying about time. Mark was a trusted and dependable daily fixture at Wentworth School. He helped countless students and staff through the chaos of lunchtime. He was the lunch duty guy. Mark could also be counted on to pick up extra work covering events and school activities across the district. He was a tireless worker, steady and sensible, respected and appreciated by all. Todd asks me to say that he was the most reliable custodian on our team. We could call on him at any time to fill in spots, even after he'd worked a long night shift at his other job. Mark has, his retirement has already left big shoes for us to fill for our custodial team, but everyone's really delighted that he's been able to finally take some time for himself. I don't have details about his retirement plans, but I do know that he's trying really hard to learn how to take it easy right now. Let's plod. Let's do it. We'll do like Kelly says and send him the YouTube video and make him watch it. He'll be really embarrassed. And my second honoree from the custodial department is Jim Matheson. Jim was only with us for 5 years, but they were kind of the last 5 years of his working career, although I wouldn't bet on that because the man just does not know how to stop. He retired in October. He was most recently at the high school. And Jim came to us, an incredibly hardworking man. He came looking for a part-time job after a very long career in other fields. You can ask him about fishing. If you have any interest in commercial boating, he's your man. Jim is a wonderful human being. He's kind-hearted, he's attentive. He was always ready to listen to a child, a staff member, a colleague, and just lend them his heartfelt support. Super hardworking, super reliable, beloved by all of his colleagues at the high school and everywhere in the district. We were so lucky to have him spend the last 5 years of his working time with us, but we're also really pleased that his family finally convinced him to retire. Todd says he just needed to work, and work he did. He was reliable, he never called out sick, and he was always helpful with anything that we asked him for. I do know a little bit about Jim's retirement plans. He has a very large family who have been begging him to move up to the mid-coast to be closer to them so that they can dote on him and take care of him and make him run the barbecue. And he has relocated up to South Thomaston and he's living happily up there right now. So thank you, Jim. Not me.
Thank you, Kate.
You've got the other.
We've got it.
Okay.
Excellent. Ray's going to speak about a bus driver retiree next.
Okay, Beth Looney, who has been with us for 8 years. Sorry, she's food service.
Oh, she is, yes.
Yeah,
But that's okay.
Yep.
You can start wherever you
I
like.
did in the wrong place. She's a kitchen worker who has been at the middle school with us for 8 years. She is truly dedicated, is what Peter Esposito described her. Excellent with the students. She was a very dependable employee and very well liked by her coworkers, staff, and all of the students. Beth was very versatile and could do any position in the kitchen. She will be deeply missed by her colleagues and friends and students. And her plans are to move to her new house in Kennebunk.
Nice.
And now the
Yes.
Dan Litchfield, who has been with us for 7 years as a bus driver for us. Sarah describes him as, Dan was a very well-respected employee. He was very dedicated to transporting students safely in our ever-evolving Maine weather. Dan was dependable, well-liked and respected by his coworkers, always willing to lend a hand when needed, whether it was at work or on his personal time. Dan retired in January and he's already missed by all, and his retirement plans are to relax.
And last but certainly not least, I have the pleasure to speak about Anne Lovejoy. So Anne Lovejoy has spent the last 26 years in Scarborough Public Schools. She started with Scarborough in the fall of 1999. When she first came to the district, she worked as a state agency client administrator. And beginning in 2002, she became the principal at Eight Corners School and has remained in that position since that time. Lots of memorable accomplishments and moments for Anne. She has been a visionary for the district. Her enthusiasm for Eight Corners is felt the second anyone walks in the door. She always takes a minute to check in on a personal level with both staff and students, and she truly makes every person feel heard and valued. She was innovative in supporting programs to come on board to her school, like PBIS, and the work that has been done around mindfulness, always leading from a what's best for students first perspective. She is also the first not to take herself seriously and is very unassuming and laid back and not high strung. Whether it was, I hear, falling over boxes in the hallway and making sure that everyone laughed along with her, to sponsoring an all-staff hula hoop lesson, Anne was right in for the fun. She will be absolutely greatly missed. In her retirement plans, I think Anne is still thinking about that. I know that we met yesterday and talked about that a little bit, but I have heard that Anne does like to travel, so I think that that will be on her agenda. And here's a new fun fact that I learned, which is Anne is an amazing baker. I have not come to learn that in the 8 years that we have worked together. So we are definitely hoping that she will stop by so that we can sample some of her good work. Congratulations, Anne. And so in closing, before we move on, I really would just like to take a moment to thank each and every one of our retirees for choosing to serve so many years here in the Scarborough community. Everyone has choices about where they choose to work and where they want to do good. And each of you has left a lasting impact on students, on other staff, and just hearing all of this about everyone this evening, it's really clear to me that we have a lot of expertise walking out the door. But your retirements are well deserved. And again, I appreciate your commitment to our community.
Anything from the board? That's a lot. 305 years, you said?
304 years. Very close.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for all that you've given this district. Thank you. And congratulations again. We have one more. 7.2 is a student recognition. So we do have a student board member who is graduating. She will be with us one more week while she transfers over her role to Abby, who becomes the senior rep. And then one of the duties of the senior school board member is to help choose, with the help of Principal Terrio, help choose the next board member who comes on. So they have been actively working on that, and next meeting, excuse me, in 2 weeks, that person will join up here. Abby will move to the senior spot, and then we'll have a new face in our junior level spot. But really, when I think of your time here, Grace, I really think about, for me personally, when you and I talked about how do we make this role a little bit bigger, a little bit more dynamic? How do we get kids more involved? And from that came an opportunity that Abby is now taking advantage of. And that's the opportunity for this to be an ELO program. So an opportunity to have learning credits established. And so that really came from you. So your lasting legacy here is that all the kids after you are going to get this really cool opportunity to have a learning opportunity that those before you didn't get to have. And so that's a really huge thing, right? We always hope that we get to leave things a little bit better than how we found them. And so when I think of you, that's really what I think of. So I know I am super excited to see what you accomplish next at school and in the future. We'll all be cheering you on from here, from the sidelines, and always back here rooting you on at home. So congratulations and thank you so much for all you've done. Any other words about messages for Grace before we? This has been quite the night. My goodness. All right. Yes, please.
Grace, thank you so much for your contribution. I think you has really struck me, have you really inserted in student sort of input into this process in a way that's been really impactful on several of the policies, which we all know is my committee. And sort of really informing us on how the real life implications of the decisions we're making up here are going to impact the people in your shoes. And I really appreciate your contribution. So thank you so much for that.
All right. Our new 8.0, agenda item 8.0 is a mix and mingle waiver request. Let me just. I'm sorry, just one second. Thank you all for coming.
They're rude.
Tonight. All right, well, carry on. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Well, thank you. It was a great evening to be here.
Yeah.
I'm the representative from Mix and Mingle Square Dance Club. I'm here to request a waiver for the use of the office, the multipurpose room at Eight Corners and the custodian fees on Thursday evenings from the start of the school year in September of 2025 through June of 2026. We're a nonprofit group. We've danced in Scarborough schools for about 30 years. This year we have 10 new students with a total of 36 to 40 dancers each week. The age of the dancers range from 26 years old to 94. And everybody has a great time. It's great exercise, great for the mind. Once all the mainstream calls are learned, which they're taught throughout the school year, anybody can dance anywhere over the whole globe. And at the end of the school year, we always make a donation to the Scarborough schools. Last year's donation was $500. We'll be having our annual meeting next week, and they'll vote on making that donation as well this year. And that's about everything. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me, but thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Are there any questions? All right, so I know this is a new, new business that we've separated out, but, I'll take a motion. Do I have a motion to accept a mix and mingle waiver, the mix and mingle waiver request?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely. All right, agenda item 9.0 is an update on the track project.
Good evening. You guys are used to hearing me talk about the budget, so I was really excited to be showing up tonight to talk about something different, and something that we're really pleased to be able to announce. As the slide says, what took so long? We're finally there. We've been working on the renovation of both the turf field and the track ever since before 2019, when there was a referendum in the town. And we had a second referendum, which passed in 2021. And by the summer of 2022, we were able to pull together the turf replacement. So that went according to plan for the most part. But in terms of the track, we've had some delays that were caused by our own thinking and our own strategies, and some delays that were caused by the outside world and the chaos after COVID. I won't necessarily read the slides to you because they'll be up there for folks to see. And I will say that there's a blurb going in the newsletter tomorrow, the district newsletter, to get out the same information to folks basically that I'm presenting here tonight. But suffice it to say that we have been unable to get the track renovation done in the tight window that we need in terms of the time that the construction can go on from the spring thaw to being done in time for fall sports to start is a really tight window for a contractor. But we've got one now. So here's what we're going to be able to do with this renovation project. They're going to take the turf back. And I say at the bottom here, the project contractor is GeoServices, which is the same folks who did the turf field for us. They're the general contractor. And we are working with them because we want them to take really good care of our turf while they're doing the renovation on the track, and it's attached. So they're going to take that and roll it back. They're going to demolish and excavate out the old track. They're going to grind and level the sub base and make a nice smooth base underneath. They're also going to do some really great improvements in terms of drainage and curbing some of the areas that have been really deteriorated on the existing track. They're going to put in some electrical conduit for us to give us access to power equipment in different areas on the field where we don't currently have it, where we're running extension cords, which isn't the most safe thing to do. Grading and paving and asphalt is what makes the top coat of the track. And then they'll surface that with the urethane spray, which is what makes the top, the rubberized surface that you run on. They're also going to do an update on the track and field equipment, which means the discus, shot put, high jump, long jump, triple jump areas, repaved, reset, new equipment, new football goalposts, safety netting in all the places that you see it now where it's somewhat deteriorated, and perimeter fencing all the way around the track, new fence. So it's going to be a beautiful makeover. It's going to be super high quality, and we're really excited about what that looks like. Timing. Here's what people are wondering about. This is what I've been wondering about since about January when I said, let's do this. As of May 28th, we are going to be out of that area. It does need to be completely closed off because it's going to be major construction. Big machines coming in, digging holes. Very cool. I'm going to get a hard hat and go out there. Oh, I already have a cool clipboard. I was going to bring it. Shannon, you're going to love it. It's one of those outdoor ones. It's really cool.
I hope your hard hat has like a Scarborough logo on it.
Yeah, I think we have some around. I think we have some, from the Wentworth project that I could dig out. I have a really big head though. I'm just saying. My hat size is extraordinary. So as soon as we get off the field, we've scheduled it for May 28th. This is going to uproot a couple of things in that last week of sports. There's a couple of lacrosse games that are going to go over to USM, thanks to our friendships over there. And everybody's being super flexible and great. We're getting out of the way. They're going to put up fencing. There'll be construction fencing all around that area. And then starting the first week of June, they'll be beginning to take things apart on the track. And then this kind of takes you through what the general schedule looks like, with mid-August being the target date for the final paving to be done and the turf field to be put back in place. The track surfacing is going to require some good dry weather for about 5 days at the end of the process. So we have plan A is to get everything done in such great time over the summer that it's all beautiful and perfect and we have time to do that. Plan B is we get all the way up to the asphalt and we don't put the surface on until the spring, but that's like a, that's a hope that we don't have to do it, but it's doable that way as well. More news on that as we go along. I'll probably have to bring you guys some reports during the summer. I'll wear my hat. So these are important things for the public to know, for the public to expect. I have, as I said, I've got a notice going in the newsletter, so our school community will be aware. I've shared that same notice with community services, and they're kind of putting it out to their folks that are, it may go in the town newsletter or their information that they put out. So we're trying to get the word out. There's not going to be any public access to the turf and track area during construction. It's going to be really important for people to be out of there. It's going to be pretty impossible for people to get in there because it's going to be all fenced off, but just need to say that. There's going to be a staging area on Wentworth Drive because there's a lot of equipment involved, materials involved. So this will be similar to if anybody tried to drive through when we were doing the turf, where they had that section of Wentworth Drive cordoned off. And so the baseball field and the softball field are still going to be accessible, but it's going to be inconvenient. You're not going to be able to get through. You're going to be kind of coming at it from both sides. So we do want people to avoid Wentworth Drive and not think of that as their pass through to get off the campus, which is like what I always do. So I'm not going to do that. And then a couple of caveats. This is a hugely weather dependent project. Because we are playing in the dirt outside. And so our contractors are super talented and skilled and know what our window of time is, but they're also very clear with us that, if we get a week of rain, it's going to slow things down. So we want people to know that these schedule ideas are milestones and goals, but not necessarily, I won't say set in stone because I'm making construction puns all the time. I was talking about being at the starting line of the project, and I'm getting a lot of grief from my friends. And that's pretty much it. We really appreciate that people have been so patient about this. I know a lot of people in the community, well outside the school community, use that track, and it's been not the most pleasant circumstances on that track with some bumps and worn surface, and it's just not a very comfortable place to run right now. And I think it's going to be really nice to have it back the way it should be. It'll be once again, a state-of-the-art facility. So really excited about that.
Thank you, Kate. Are there any questions for Kate? All right. Thank you so much. This has been a long time coming. And quite frankly, I think this is one of the most exciting things I've heard in probably my entire tenure on the board. We've had comment from the public, of course, that are anxious to have this fixed. And we've had comment from students who have done advocacy work and written us letters. And it's been, this has been a really long time coming. And so very exciting that we're here.
Yeah, we're glad that all the pieces are coming together this year for sure.
Us too. Thank you for the update. And yes, we would love to hear more over the summer. That'd be great. Even if I don't have a hat. I certainly hope you do, but even if not.
I didn't say thank you to my friend Mike for getting out of the way.
Yes, and thank you, Mike, for rescheduling. That's a lot of work in itself. So thank you for that too.
Mike has put in a ton of hours working with all of the contacts that he has in our region. That's the
Yeah.
value of having great partners. And we have a lot of other districts and USM, as Kate said, who are really going out of their way to extend their field space for us for both practice and for some games. So
Yeah, thank you so much for that work, Mike. All right, agenda item 10.0 is general public comment. Is there anyone wishing to make general public comment this evening? Is there anybody online? If you're online and wish to do so, if you raise your Zoom hand. Okay, seeing none and seeing none in person, I will close general public comment. Agenda item 11.0 is new business. 11.1 is the superintendent authorization of summer hires. Would you like to tee this up a little?
yes,
Or-
so this is an annual request that comes to you as a board. As you know, we're very committed to hiring the strongest candidates that we can in this district. I come to you on a regular basis with some amazing professionals for you to endorse. We are approaching summer, and that means that the board schedule is amended. And so instead of having 2 meetings a month, you'll go down to 1 meeting in July and 1 meeting in August, which is lovely because I know that everyone can use a break. At the same time, we don't want to stop any progress in terms of hiring the best candidates possible. And if I were to have to wait a full month to bring a candidate to all of you, my concern would be that we might lose that candidate to another district. And so the request this evening is for you to provide me with the authorization to offer contracts to folks over the summer during the months of July and August when our meetings are amended.
All right, are there any questions for Diane? All right, do I have a motion to approve the superintendent authorization of summer hires?
So moved.
Second. Is there any public comment? All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor? That shows unanimous. Thank you so much.
Very appreciated.
Absolutely. Agenda item 11.2 are appointments. 11.2.1 is the second year probationary professionals.
Yes, so in your packet this evening, you'll see a pretty healthy list of 23 first-year probationary professionals that have done a phenomenal job this year and who we would like to move on to second-year probationary status. For those of you who are not aware, anytime that new professionals are hired on, they are probationary by state statute for 2 years and go through a rigorous observation and evaluation process from their building leaders. And so I would respectfully request for you to approve the appointments for second-year probationary professionals.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the second year probationary professionals as presented?
So moved.
Second. Is there any discussion? All in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you so much. Agenda item 11.2.2 is our first year continuing contract professionals.
Yes, so this is a related item. As I just mentioned, the first 2 years of a professional staff's time with us here at Scarborough Public Schools is as a probationary staff member. And so if you take a look at this list of 20 individuals, they are rounding up completion of their full second year here in Scarborough and have been successful in doing so. And as such, we would respectfully ask for you to approve them to continuing contract status.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the first year continuing contract professionals as presented?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? And that shows unanimous. Thank you so much. Agenda item 11.2.3 is the K2 school resource librarian.
Yes, I'm really pleased to be able to bring this name forward to you this evening. As you know, you as a board had approved this as a position ad in last year's budget. But because it was a new ad, we had to wait until the budget was approved in June. And when we went out in the summer, we just weren't able to find a candidate that we thought was suitable for the role. So this year we were really excited because we were able to go out with our posting very early on because it wasn't contingent on a new ask for all of you. And so I'm very pleased this evening to bring forward Deanna Contrino, who has been selected to fill this position due to an unfilled FY25 position, as I just explained. Ms. Contrino received her Bachelor of Arts degree in English Communication from the Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts and her Master of Library and Information Science degree from Southern Connecticut State University. She has been working in libraries since 2007. And that includes the Sacco's Dyer Library, the library at St. Bridget's School in Portland, and for the last 6 years, she has served as in that role in the Young School Library in Sacco. So the recommendation is to appoint Deanna Contrino as the K2 School Resource Librarian.
Wonderful news. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the K2 School Resource Librarian as presented?
So moved.
Second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say I am super excited. We fought really hard for this position. We desperately need to have a librarian at Wentworth and at the K2 schools. And I'm so delighted to welcome her to our school district because we need her. And I'm very excited to see this come to be finally.
Yeah, and again, you know, to my earlier point, the expertise and experience that she brings to the work is phenomenal, and our students will greatly benefit from that.
All right, all in favor? And that, we good? Shows unanimous. Thank you so much. All right, agenda item 12.0 is executive session. Do I have a motion to go into executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056A for the purpose of discussing the superintendent's annual review to return to public session?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Perfect. Thank you so much. We will return.